Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Good morning. Welcome to Run It Back. Let's start down there on the bottom. Lou Will's back. What's up, buddy?
How we doing?
Chilling. Feeling good?
See y'all.
We got Chandler P, Boogie,
Where'd this come from?
Michelle. We're all here. We've got sources for produce here. Jerry Stackhouse will be on a little bit later. We are obviously just sort of all on pins and needles waiting for tomorrow when the finals will officially kick off with game 1 down in San Antonio. So let's just start talking a little bit here, guys. I'm gonna start with some big questions as we head into this bad boy. Boogie, you're up first. Under the most pressure in this series, I'm gonna leave it blank. You give me who you think it is.
Under the most pressure?
Those two are hints.
I'll have to go with a player like Cat. You know,
Okay.
it's a lot kind of added to his name as far as, you know, when you speak on his game and his achievements throughout his career. So I think this is a big stepping stone for him as far as, you know, taking his career to that next level. You know, increasing the accolades that come along with his name in this game. You know, it was a lot of, you know, negativity as far as, is he a winning player? Can he help a team, you know, get over that hump, become a championship type player? So, like I said, I think this is the opportunity to do that. And, you know, I would say he's, to me, the guy that stands out the most as far as taking that next jump.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick. It's hard to pick someone on the Spurs, right? Just because
kind of is.
It's like they're here so early. They've blown out all expectations. Like they're already in the NBA Finals, Wemby's 3rd season, so I can't pick anybody on them. It's even hard to pick Jalen Brunson because, again, maybe him just because there's all the questions. Can the small guy lead your team to a championship? It's the Knicks. There's expectations. Like, we're comparing him to the greats in the New York Knicks history, and is he the best player of all time? He's got a chance to cement that in this series and in this final. So maybe him, maybe Mike Brown. Like, maybe can he beat this young team?
One.
But, like, I can't see it being anybody on San Antonio, although I do think they're favored to win it. They're so young, they're so ahead of schedule where it can't be them.
I'm glad everybody's a little bit confused because I couldn't find pressure for anybody in this series, right?
It's like all bonus, you think?
Yeah, I think both teams are in a situation where we didn't really expect them to be here this fast. You can make a case for some of the Knicks guys because, you know, you bring Cat into that fold to compete for a championship. You bring Brunson in, Mike Brown. You put all those pieces together to finally put you in that position. And I didn't realize it was going to be this early, and maybe some people around the league and fans would say the same thing. Same case with San Antonio. So is it pressure on anybody? I don't know, but I'm sure legacies and reputations will change after this once it's all said and done. But if I got to pick anybody, I'm going to go with Boogie, and I'm going to say Cat. He was the first domino in all of these pieces to fall, where New York said, this is the guy that we want to pair up with Brunson, and we think this is going to be the duo that get us over the hump. And so I'll just say Cat for the sake of the conversation.
Cat's also a good one, too, because I do feel if there is a sweep or is just an absolute meltdown by the Knicks, Cat would be the one to go. You know what I mean? I feel like he's always been on the hot seat.
Depends on how he plays. Is he hot and cold? Or
yeah, he's always been on the hot seat all season long, though. And, like, I feel like the fans obviously love and embrace OG and Jalen Brunson. Bridges was kind of ran through the mud a little bit in the first playoff series.
We were going to trade him when in the Hawks series.
Cat's kind of been the
I think we kind of passed that conversation a little bit.
Like, and he's got a great opportunity here, too,
different.
especially how Chet just played against Wemby. Cat's got an unreal opportunity in this series.
So I'm going to just put on the
like
crazy owner hat for a second. I don't think this because I think it's absurd. The team is in the finals, what have you. But I do think Mike Brown just logically has to have pressure on him because, and again, not from a logical standing point, from a James Dolan standing point, because he went out there and said, we've got to win a championship. You fired your coach that got to the conference finals. Like, I don't think there should be a single ounce of pressure on Mike Brown. But if you're asking who's under the most, it feels like he would be the only one that would feel some sort of pressure because you don't know what owners are going to do because they can do whatever they want. So it's a little bit crazy.
I actually think he has the least amount of pressure.
Oh, I don't.
Really?
The reason I say that is, you know, they fired a coach and made it, you know, to a certain point.
He's already went
further than that coach.
Yeah, but you're thinking like a logical
I don't think
person.
we talking
You
logic.
did say logic. Okay, that's true.
I don't think it's pressure on him to keep his job. I think it's pressure on him to bring it home.
100%.
You know
Because you don't
what I'm
know if you're going to get here
That can be
next
true.
year. Like
Yeah.
this is not easy to do, as New York Knicks fans know very well. So
And again, nothing against the San Antonio Spurs. You know that the Knicks, when they won 4-0, you know they were hoping the Spurs won this series.
Yep. Well, they just wanted it to go 7. I think they just wanted it.
And they got what they wanted. They
Team.
got 7, and they got again, the lesser team, like not the defending champs, not SGA. Clearly not, but I'm saying I guarantee you in their mind, they want. If you ask them before the game,
I don't know.
and they were being
I
honest.
don't want to play against nobody 7'5" like that.
I'm saying, if you were on the Knicks and they asked, who do you want to play in the finals?
That's a super confident group.
Yeah, I don't know about
If
that.
you're on the Knicks and I asked you, who do you rather play? Like, see, like who would you?
I don't think so.
I would pick the Spurs.
It's no
Give
easy
me
route.
SGA, bro.
Yeah, it's no easy route.
You would
but-
pick the Thunder? You'd rather face the Thunder?
Me as a big having to face Wemby for 4 games, I'd rather deal with SGA.
To see him try to win 4 games.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that interesting, Chandler? You really
very
thought you had something there.
I would have took the Spurs 1,000%. And if I lost, fine, but I got who I wanted.
Hey, no, I would disagree with that one.
I mean, the Knicks have beaten the Spurs, what, twice? 2 out of the 3 this season. So that, like, one of them being the NBA Cup, and we were there. By the way, speaking of Cat, do you remember at the NBA Cup championship game when I was talking a lot of smack about Cat, and then you didn't tell me that we were sitting next to his dad until like the 3rd quarter? That happened, and it was super fun.
That's what makes
That was
it.
a
His
good
dad
moment.
was
That was a
so
good moment.
awesome.
I had a pretty tough seat too, remember?
Oh, yeah. You and Big Ron.
Compared to y'all.
Chandler was next to Harper's dad,
Yeah,
Ron
I was
Harper.
like,
He didn't like
he's
him.
not a big fan of me either. That's my boy.
Oh, it's all full circle. Okay, we got a lot of legacies on the line, as you know happens when you make it to a championship game and you potentially get to be a world champion. Again, leaving it blank. How about I start with you, Lou? Legacy that will be most oofed after this sort of a win.
The same thing for me. It can go a lot of different ways. Obviously, Wemby winning his first championship so early in his career. Brunson again, this small guard conversation is going on again. You bring him into New York to be your lead guy. Cat, Mike Brown. It's so many different guys that their legacies.
Fox.
Listen, I think there's a legitimate 7 to 8 guys involved in this series that the day that somebody wins the championship, the next day it's going to change how you look at all of them.
But who's you got to pick one because like
The obvious one is going to be Wemby.
that's the obvious. Okay.
The obvious one for me
Wow.
is Wemby.
Because what he's
think
starting early. and-
Because he's so early in this process, and
crazy. It's his
and
third
we
year.
always spoke about Wemby. The future is coming. Well, the time
True.
is now. So if you're in the batter's box, there's no participation awards. You got to go out and get it. And I would say that's whose legacy would change. That puts him in the category. We've already kind of put him in that category, but this will solidify him as one of the real guys at the top of the food chain.
Wemby is the obvious pick. He's so young. He's so good. I feel like he's got so much basketball ahead of him where he's going to cement it regardless anyways. I think him in the 3rd year winning a championship, Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-NBA is nuts. Jalen Brunson has the chance to win a championship for the
Great
New
one.
York Knicks and make them relevant again and probably become the best player of all time in the history of that franchise.
of all
Jalen Brunson.
time.
Not to mention the whole little guard thing and how he's not a great defender and still could beat his team.
Does Steph Curry not exist? Where did this argument start?
I guess he was an anomaly because the way he shot.
Ain't no
the
anomaly.
basketball.
He's a
Isaiah
small guard.
Thomas, Isaiah Thomas and Steph are the 2 little guys.
It's only 2 guards.
He got 4 championships. Well, who
2
started?
guards in the history of the league.
Well, Steph Curry is an astronomical.
And I agree. That's the whole point, though.
My point is, Jalen Brunson has a chance probably
Back
already to never pay for a meal in New
Can
York
you
City
imagine?
again. Like in the biggest city with the biggest media, with the biggest, craziest fan base, he has a chance to win them a championship.
You gotta
Look how much Walt Frazier
loved
You got to
him.
put Cat in that conversation.
No, because if they win, it's going to be a lot.
See, that's the
It's gonna be
difference.
Jalen.
I look at Cat and Brunson as a duo. Haven't we not?
If they
tagged them
win
as a
this year,
duo?
Brunson gets a statue.
But can we just
Cat.
be
That's
can we be
yes.
real for 1 second,
that's
like
real.
in not a personal way? I think Jalen is beloved. I don't know that Kat has that same thing that New Yorkers sort of
100%.
embrace. Like
They'll
they
tell you.
love him, they
They'll
love
tell-
him.
The fans will tell you that.
But Jalen's
I'm agreeing.
beloved.
It got to be.
Like he needs a security guard if they win this championship, like for the rest
Oh
of
my
his
God,
life
it's
in New
gonna
York.
be
Like, it is-
So
amazing.
to your point about not paying for a meal, do you think Wemby's ever paid for a meal in San Antonio
No, but I
already?
feel like he's got time. Jalen Brunson's older. It's
Yeah,
the
but our
next
meals are
media.
cheaper.
That's not what I
Because
asked
they're
you.
in New
I
York
asked
City
you,
and
do
San
you
Antonio.
I don't
think
think
there's
Wemby's
a
going-
restaurant that is charging Wemby for food?
I don't think he's going out to eat.
He's definitely going out to eat. He's just being driven.
I think he's got a chef.
Well, I mean, hopefully he has a chef. Yeah, because he's serious about his body and he does.
I'm saying we're talking the Knicks, the most psychotic, exciting, electric fans in the world.
Like, look how Walt Frazier. We know we got to do that thing with him. He is so loved in that city. He can
Jalen
do no
Brunson
wrong.
gets his
Like,
own courtside
Jalen
seat at
Brunson's gonna go
MSG whenever he wants to go. Like this is different. It's New York.
I think Chandler might rewrite Boogie. I think
I'm with
because of
Chandler,
the
actually,
geography.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree where he's coming from.
But Wemby, again, like Lou said, 3rd season, all those accolades, and he leads this young team who had 30 wins last year to a chip.
But it's
You guys,
the point
it's
that he got so much more time.
Yeah, he's
to
gonna
these
do that
things.
regardless. Like next year, if it is
Exactly.
like.
I love how we
agree.
take
I agree
that.
on the Brunson take.
His life's gonna change. All right, let's talk about defense here for a second. Lou said I don't want to play a 7-5 dude, so that's the start where we're going with defending Wemby. Also, who's defending him? How are they defending him? Do we have any idea on what this is going to look like? Chandler, go first.
I think like every team that faces him, you're going to throw a bunch of different looks at him, a bunch of different bodies. I wouldn't be surprised if they started like a OG or a Bridges on him and then force him to kind of push him out and then maybe throw double teams at him, or they could go big on him and put Cat. I think they have a lot of options. They could go Josh Hart. Like, they do have a versatile lineup where all these wings. And either way, there's no man on the planet that can guard this guy one-on-one. So it's going to be a collective effort.
I don't know. Looking at these clips,
They might go zone. Like, they're going to have to do something unique, and they're going to have to be extremely physical. But again, he's so used to that by now. Everyone's going to try and do that. My guess would be OG or Cat would be the obvious choice, but he's going to see so many different. Mitchell Robinson's going to see time on him.
Yeah,
fair.
it's not going to be a one-person job. He's going to see different looks. Obviously, he's going to see physicality. I think teams have feel like if they're going to have an opportunity to beat them, they're going to have to put some physicality in this basketball game. I think OG starts on him, crawl up in him. He's built to take on that job. Stop playing so much.
Stupid. You're so stupid.
I think he's
on the TM up.
I think he's built for. Oh, okay. I caught it late. Yeah. But I think OG is one of those guys that has the stature. You know what? Forget it.
Okay, yeah, you know what?
Just say Cat.
We're doing it.
OG. Josh Hart will guard him. All right.
I agree. I think OG is the guy to do it as far as bringing the physicality, being able to match up physically, kind of tiring him out as well. Also, bringing him to the other end of the floor and making him have to guard as well. So, obviously, it's a team job. It's going to be a team defense required to even match up with Wemby. But as far as the individual, I think OG stands out the most. And I mean, second would have to be a guy like Cat, just to also have that size and physicality that can kind of match up.
On the flip side, who does Wemby
You
guard?
ain't see Cat for these on them pump fakes?
I didn't say it was going to work.
I saw 7
All them
dunks with
pump
Cat
fakes
on.
led to dunks, man. I don't know.
Who does Wemby start on Hart and kind of float? And
I feel like he floats
I think he's at his best when he's able to float around.
When he's that free safety back there, just being in a help position, helping everybody.
just be that car thing that's in the car sales lot. I don't know what those are called. By the way, the good news for New York is they have a traitor amongst them. Jeremy Sochan, I'm looking right at you, you Benedict Arnold.
He's a champ.
He's getting a ring regardless, which is great for him.
That's
but
kinda awesome.
He also has all of the intel, and he's been very, very honest in telling us that he is going to give them everything he could possibly give them on Wemby, that you got to tire him out, you got to make him run, all the good things, and I'm sure he's saying other things that we don't know about. That being said, as an outsider, we think about that like, oh no, they're going to have the inside scoop. Boogie, how realistic is it? Does that help? How much does that help?
It helps in a way, and it may be, well, I'll say this first.
Okay.
This is the guy with the least amount of pressure honestly, in this entire team. He's a champion regardless of how this goes.
Crazy.
But, it does help in a way as far as figuring out, a guy's intangibles, his habits, the things he may like on the floor, may not like. When you're a teammate, you kind of have, that inside answer to those personal type things. So I'm sure he can give Mike Brown a couple of tips here and there, but I mean, it's easier said than done. We're talking about a one-of-one type of talent when it comes to Wemby.
I think a lot of that is going to come from the scout team.
Exactly. So you can give as many tips as you want.
They've played this team 3 times. It's the playoffs. You take away what the team does best, anyways. Now, what he can help with is like play calls, or where he sees, where he sees Wemby set up. Maybe he could know which counter could come, and he could verbalize that to the guys.
And he doesn't have to play, so he can sit there and tell them.
He's not going to play, but if he sees an out-of-bounds set, he can kind of be up on his feet and verbalize that. But again,
You think he still remembers that after this time?
I think so.
The sets ain't that much different.
Well, Sean Sweeney.
All sets are the same thing. All calls are the same. I think when we have these conversations, you play your former team and they ask you a question. You usually got a few things to say in the scout, and then they keep moving, and then you rely on what the scout team is. I'm sure he's gonna give them whatever information that he has, but I think the bulk of the information is gonna come from the scout team and what they do.
They've played him 3 times. By game 2, they'll know everything that Sochan knows.
That's a great point.
Correct.
Also, Sean Sweeney was an assistant coach in Dallas when Brunson was there, so I don't know if that helps at all. The other thing I would do as a player that was once a teammate, and this is me being wrong, I would be like, oh, he has a peanut allergy, so that's what I would do.
Oh, God.
I would set up
Below
catering.
the belt.
I'm just saying. All's fair in love and war. Jalen Brunson does have that small guard thing. Look, I'm just going to preface this by saying I think it's silly. However,
I feel strongly about this.
it's okay. Then take it away because
we moving the goalposts because Steph Curry is a small guard, but everybody's like, well, he's a shooter, he's this and that. All the small guards are scoring guards. So I don't.
Not true.
What is the separation from Steph Curry and everybody else? What's the separation?
The unanimous MVP.
He's
Four-time champ.
He's still a small guard that was best player on
But
championship
that's the
team.
separation from everybody
But
else.
is he a small guard?
It's only been 2 in the history of the game.
You're not answering my question.
Yes, he's a small guard.
All right, so that's what I'm
First of all,
saying.
he's not the small guard that they're directly talking
and
about.
that's
They were
my
talking
problem.
about guys under 6'2".
The point was like Steve Nash,
6'3".
Chris Paul,
What are
like
we doing? What are we
Iverson.
doing?
The point
a
was
difference.
Come on, Boogie. We moving.
difference.
This is a goalpost move.
It's not.
I enjoy the argument when people say you can't win with a lead small guard. Steph Curry is the lead small guard.
Steph
He ain't
Curry-
never been a big guard.
I'll be honest with you, that
Steph
2011.
Curry is in a category of his own, along with the original Isaiah Thomas.
Huge.
Everybody else, it hasn't been success when the best
Isaiah, he's in a
player on your
category.
team
He's
is
in
a
a
small
category
guard.
with Isaiah Thomas.
Two.
Both NBA
in the
champions.
history of the league.
So it's happened. Whether it's been once, it's been twice, it's happened. That's all I'm saying. And it's happened a
he's
lot. He got
arguing
4
semantics.
championships.
I appreciate
and all
it.
they're saying
The
is it
point
doesn't
was,
really
like-
happen at the clip
I know
you would
exactly
like
what the
when it comes
point
to
is.
small guard.
What
There
I'm
is,
saying
but
is
the
that
point's
is a
wrong. Yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And are we talking about for
I know
the full season or the
No,
finals?
point.
Because the Dallas Mavericks 2011, JJ Barea was their best guard by far, and they won a championship.
Are we-
we're talking, but
did
we're
we
talking
just
about.
do that?
But we're
He
talking about
didn't
whole
lead
season.
the Mavericks.
No, Dirk
Did you
did.
just JJ
Are we talking about
Barea
best
us?
guard or best player on the team?
Best player
The
on
best
the team.
player on the team can't be
The smallest
an
guy.
undersized guard, and you
But
win.
Steph
That's
Curry-
the argument.
I guess is Steph Curry.
But what about the
undersized?
Steph Curry
Is that your
KD
point?
years? Are you?
Steph Curry,
That's
he's not. I'm not going to say Steph Curry's undersized, but by the metrics, he is a small guard. I ain't going to say he's undersized. Undersized is like JJ Barea. Those are that nature.
yeah,
We're not going to put Steph Curry in that
Like
category.
Kyrie Irving's a small
And
guard,
we're
but
not
he
going to
had
put him in a
LeBron.
big guard category. He's a small lead
This ain't
guard.
even about Steph Curry, because like I said, he's in a category of his own.
I'm with you.
But he's in that
I'm
category.
with
of
you, but
small
he's
guard.
still in a small guard.
What about
he's
Kyrie
not.
Irving? He's small, but he had LeBron.
He didn't lead the team.
He wasn't
He
the best player.
had LeBron James.
Yeah.
But Steph Curry didn't have LeBron James. He was the lead.
And I say once again, Steph is in a
I'm
category
outta
of
here
his
with you,
own.
Boogie. I ain't rolling.
I almost feel like
By
you
the way,
guys are close.
Jalen Brunson and Steph Curry are
No,
probably
we
the same
ain't
height.
close. Boogie
They're
just
not the same
Boogie
height.
Who's
arguing
taller?
just arguing because he
Steph Curry's
Boogie's
taller.
point is that he's in a league.
you
He's
sure?
in a category of his
that
own.
up.
Still, he is a small guard.
But by the
Everything
argument,
that he is.
but I thought this argument was like 6'1" dudes.
Jalen
That's what
Brunson's-
I've been trying to
And
say.
like
This
Steph
ain't
is
about
not.
Well,
Steph.
Jalen Brunson's 6'2", so he doesn't qualify.
Oh, this whole thing is stupid. What are we doing?
Thank you. That's the point I'm trying to
Okay,
make.
we're
He's
done.
1 inch shorter than
That's
Steph
the point
Curry.
I'm trying to make.
You know what?
Where's the cutoff?
I went into that saying I don't
Earl
like it.
Boykins?
Obviously, that makes
They
a
getting
big
on the
difference.
same roller coaster.
Muggsy Bogues?
Love
Spud
Muggsy
Webb? Like,
Bogues.
how small we want to go?
Webb, yay!
Like, come on.
We could do all that, by the way.
Like Dame Lillard, is he a small guard?
No,
Doesn't feel like
Same
it.
size.
not considered a small guard.
Boogie's just standing on it.
I know. I think
standing on
Boogie's
business at
just.
this
I
point.
appreciate it though. I'll be honest with you.
And
All
even
right.
with that, you brought up Dame. I mean, if you want to consider him a small guard, the point is still proven.
Yeah, he never won.
You can't
And
win
that's
with a
Steph
small
Curry
guard.
did.
Can't even make the
Chris
argument.
Paul, never won.
Never
Iverson,
won.
Steph
never
Curry
won.
did.
Famously never
He got
won.
there.
But did
Yeah.
he win?
Steph Curry
He
did.
did it multiple times.
And he's in a category of his own.
Boogie is not. He
in
is
that
not
category.
changing
He's
at all.
No, he's not in that category alone. He's there with Isaiah Thomas. They are holding it down for the small guards
Absolutely.
that's done it.
That's a lot of
So it's
pressure.
happened.
So they're
Two
rooting for
guards.
Jalen Brunson,
So it's-
obviously.
So
And don't get it twisted. I do think.
No, I ain't confused.
I do think Brunson has the ability to go do so. Like it's not about the small guard. I'm not on that. I'm not willing to die on that hill because I do think it's guards that can.
I'm just
that can
not
make
with
it
the
happen.
conversation because it's not the small guards that people want.
Call me
no,
crazy.
We're not gonna
Joe.
do that.
Call
We're
me-
not gonna move the goalposts to the guards that we want to represent the small
Also,
guards.
Jalen
Steph
Brunson's
Curry did.
not
it.
small.
What's
He's a
happening
big,
right now?
big
He's not.
boy. Like, what are we-
Relatively speaking,
Who's a big boy?
Jalen Brunson's like strong and like he uses his body. He's not a small guard.
but he has a lower center
Just
of
because he's a
gravity.
physical guard doesn't mean he's
still
not
a
an
small
undersized
guard,
guard, bro. Like,
I guess.
I see where you were trying to go with it, but nah, we gonna throw a flag on that one.
Thank goodness.
Like Westbrook's an inch taller.
No,
than him.
we're
You
done.
never would look at him.
I'm
as a small
calling
guard.
it. Beep, calling it. That's my whistle. Thank goodness Jerry Stackhouse is standing by, so we don't have to do this anymore.
Stack, help me out, Stack.
Small guard or not, Stat?
Run it up, run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back.
Ain't nothing ordinary. This shit is legendary.
Stackhouse. Wow.
legendary. With my respect. Unbelievable. God, what a bump.
Woo, 18 years in this beautiful league. Jerry Stackhouse joining us. Now, we had a whole thing, but then this Jalen Brunson situation just blew out of control. Do you have an opinion on the small guard, leading, championship, all that?
And what's the cutoff height-wise, Stack? Because we're separating inches up here.
No, man. Like I said, when you look back in history, it hadn't been a lot of small guards to do it. I think you look at, Isaiah Thomas, right? And probably before all of us, but I remember my brother's always talking about Gus Williams, back with Seattle way back. He was 6'2", he won the championship, but most of the guys that, weren't able to, get it done. But I think it was more about the supporting cast. I mean, you think when AI went, he just didn't have probably the supporting cast to beat Shaq and Kobe, but the ones that, but I think Jalen's, he's different. I mean, obviously he's, I don't think any of us probably saw this when he left Dallas. I mean, I thought he was really good, and I've always been a fan of him. I coached against him in AAU when he was 13, but just what he's been able to do in New York has been magical, and if he's able to pull this off, he's definitely going to go down as one of the best small guards ever.
Stack, but you're not putting Steph in your small guard category along with
man, Steph is about 6'3" to me.
That's a small guard.
Thank you.
Jalen Brunson's 6'2",
small guard.
They just want to argue with me this morning.
Are you a small guard, Lou? Are you a small guard?
That's why I was touching him so crazy.
That's why he's so touchy about it.
You know I'm posting you up. I'm running straight to the post.
Exactly. And Steph got his fair share of posts. We all small guard. 6'3" down, small guards.
So now you're saying 6'3"?
It's 6'2".
Jalen Brunson's 6'2", so he counts.
6'2" down, man.
All right.
6'3".
All right.
6'2" is like normal height for a person.
You got it.
Okay,
Y'all
Appreciate y'all this morning.
I
so glad we
gotta listen
solved
to
it.
the OG. You
Give
got
that up.
This is one of the worst topics I've ever had to deal with. All right, talk to me about what is more surprising, the fact that the Knicks swept their way to this run, or that Wemby's gotten his team here in year 3. What do you think?
I think probably both of them. I think it's great stories. I think the way the Knicks have kind of come together. I mean, I would love to see this story. As a coach, you want to feel like your teams, always have that message of, playing, well at the right time, everything kind of coming together. It's a long season. You're going to have highs and lows, and just feels like they found a way to come together at the right time. Bridges, OG, all these guys are playing at a high level. You're getting great support from, probably some unsung heroes and Shamet, McBride. I mean, so I just think that's a great story. But you got a lot of young guys on the Spurs side. I mean, with Wemby being one of those young guys, and then you look at Harper and just a bunch of young talent that you didn't think it would come together this fast. But when you got a super special talent like you have in Wemby, then you got the opportunity for something special like this to happen.
Well, speaking of Wemby, you spent the last few seasons as an assistant with the Warriors, and you've had some success against him. From your viewpoint, what can you do? Where is his vulnerability as far as trying to stop him, or at least slow him down?
Well, I mean, we had Draymond, so we had a little bit of advantage, So we got somebody that was going to fight him for all his positions. But I think you seem that you have more success when you're able to get under him. He wants to put the ball on the floor. He wants to get to the basket. So you may be putting a smaller guy. I thought, even Caruso had some success on him because he was under him and wasn't able to allow him to just put the ball on the floor as he would against, someone of his size. Even Hardenstein, you saw that he kind of went to really trying to rough him up and getting physical with him. He adjusted to that part of it, but I think the way to have the most success on him is to keep him on the perimeter as much as you can and not allow him to dribble penetrating, because he does a good job of creating for others as well.
Yeah. He's gonna have his fair share of looks on offensive end. But when it comes to the New York Knicks, if Jalen Brunson can pull this off, is he one of the biggest stars in New York City since the likes of like a Derek Jeter or somebody like that? Like, what's at stake right here for Jalen Brunson?
Statue.
I mean, I don't think Jalen Brunson would pay for a meal in New York ever again if he pulls this off, man. But I think you just the way that they've done it. Again, made a big change last year with Tibbs and bringing in Mike Brown and all of the noise during the course of the year. Mike was, getting fired if they didn't get to the finals. I mean, obviously New York is one of the toughest places to play and coach because of, just the fan base and what they expect. Even though they hadn't been to the finals in 30 years, they still expect to win it every year. But so I just think this is Jalen is great, man. Like I said, I remember this kid when he was 13 years old, and it was like most kids, if you come and build a wall, what we're talking about, build a low man on them, then you're gonna have some success. We were coming and building the low man on him at 13, and he was still sidestepping and getting around it. So he's special. He's a winner, and I love to see it happen for him. Like nothing against the Spurs, but having the Mavericks background, I'm never pulling for the Spurs.
Mm-hmm. Now, Stack, speaking of the Mavericks, you played in the NBA Finals in the 2006, with Dirk against D Wade, and we got a video here of you. Do you ever look back and think, damn, if I don't foul Shaq so hard and get suspended for Game 5, we're winning this thing?
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's one I gotta live with. I hate, but I had to.
That hard.
I mean, they tossed you. I thought it was going to be worse.
You got to beat big fella to the spot, though. Either that or he gonna take you with him.
He ain't taking a charge on him.
That was my thought process, and I didn't even get kicked out of the game. So I think so. Never did I think that I would get suspended for the next game, and that was probably one of the hardest things to do, to sit in the hotel and watch your team. I was having a hell of a series up until that point, and now not to be able to help your team. But I just think it was still the format, man. I hate that format. I'm glad we went back to it. There's no way you get to the finals and have the best record in the season, and you have a chance of coming back home down. That 2-3-2 formula. So glad they went back to the 2-2-1-1-1 formula, and unfortunately they went back to it a little too late.
Yeah. Stack, we love seeing former players move on to coaching. With your experience being, a star player in this league, how does your experience carry over to coaching with how you deal with young players and how you relate to them?
Well, I think for me, man, it kind of coincided with my own personal family, my kids. They're the same age as a lot of the kids that I, started coaching when I started coaching in college. At Vanderbilt, my son was just got out of college, so I know the challenges and the things that this generation deals with. Generation Z is a little different than my generation, but it's not in a bad way. I just think that they're so smart. I mean, they come from a generation that we were always kind of on the phone. We were pushing the buttons, and now they're swiping. So it's just a different. Different mentality, and they want to be included and they want to feel a part of it, but they still want to be coached. And I still feel that. I still, with the guys that that I worked with the last couple of years at Golden State, the younger guys, Pajemski and Moses Moody and all these guys, man, they gravitate toward learning and you having answers for them. So I think that's the beauty of being able to be in college for the time that I was, and learning learning the nuances of how to build these relationships. The thing about coaching and players, it's all about relationships. If you show these kids that you care about them, you care about their families, you care about their success, then you can get them to do a lot and to have a lot of success.
Are you still getting out on the floor? Because I remember when I had Stack in Memphis, he would go bust the player's ass down. And by the way, he was not taking it lightly. You still do that, or did you do that at Vanderbilt?
Come on. I'm going to do that. There's 4 spots. I'm playing both blocks and both elbows.
Stack might be 50% still today in players one-on-one.
Awesome.
Got to check up on it.
He's still cooking.
And if it's tied after those 4, then we can play right at the top of the key. But that's a little bit out of my zone. But I still, Kim, he still gives me hell, man. Come on, let's get those ones.
Oh, it's too good.
Everybody still is like Stack. They still trying to get me back for those days when I was putting it on those that they asked in the morning.
I like it. By the way, the Blazers, Bulls there's still a couple openings left. First of all, When your name is floated for these types of jobs, what are you thinking? Is there one you'd want more than the other? Or are you just sort of at the mindset of like, just give me the head coaching spot, I'm gonna make it work?
Absolutely. I mean, I think my dad had a great saying, said, beggars can't be choosy.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, it's just getting the opportunity to, to coach at the highest level. It's a level that I played at for a long time, and getting an opportunity to play. I don't really look at, one more than just you see, it's talent. It's different from, college where it's all, it's about, you can be the greatest coach as you want to. You got to have talent. But I think in the NBA, you're going to have talent. Every team is going to have a certain level of talent, and it's about how you're able to mold that and how you're able to lead that. So, but when I look at, in any of these situations, I can see myself, sliding in and bringing what I feel it takes to win, having that the leadership quality of understanding, the development. I really excited about the development. I think that's where one of my strong suits of being able to get guys better, show them how to play the right way, understanding what it takes to win at this level. Again, and that's so not a preference of any particular team, even though like Chicago, it's one of those ones where it does seem like it's a little bit more of a canvas, with them having so much cap space and obviously a couple of draft picks in this year's draft. You could see that team really taking a step and changing their trajectory really fast.
Yeah.
Is there one, I don't know whether it was a saying or something that he did, one thing from Steve Kerr that you will take with you the rest of your way?
Yeah, I just think with Steve, it was all about, he wants those guys joy. I mean, I think his messaging was always on point. I think with guys from the standpoint of when we, lost Steph and we were down, I think he still found a way to find, positives in what was happening and using it as growth moments and growth opportunities. And I think for us, we saw our younger guys get better, that probably guys that we weren't counting on going into the season, this year. And then when Jimmy went down and when Steph went down, then it was like, okay, this is an opportunity for you guys to step up. I thought Geet Santos took a really good big step, for, like I said, a guy that, wasn't even really penciled in. But once he got his opportunity, I think he's going to provide a lot of depth for the Warriors this year, because of that. So and then just a number of guys that I saw how Steve, he wants conversation. He wants to make sure that you understand, even the coaching staff, just constantly conferring with everybody to make sure that you know where you stand and you know what we're trying to get accomplished.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about that because the world saw it, at the end of the play-in, Steve, Steph, and Draymond, they had that hug. Nobody knew what the future held after that. And then, Steve Kerr signs an extension for another 2 years to line up with Steph Curry's deal. What does it look like for them to put another contender together? What pieces are they missing? What do you see the future holds for that Golden State group now that Steve Kerr is back?
Yeah, I think it's going to, that was tough, because you didn't know what was going to happen. I don't even think Steve knew what was going to happen. It just, I think that was really heartfelt, that moment that they had, because it was a really good chance that it wouldn't, all come back together again, depending on, how the front office saw things, how Steve, felt, because he has a ton of options to, he could transition right into broadcasting. He could, take on another job somewhere else. I mean, he's going to be in high demand no matter where he at because of all the success that he's had. But I think for, it's really about the health. I mean, everything is so, Steph centric.
Yeah.
And when he's not in the picture, it kind of throws everything for a loop. And I think that's the challenge for the Warriors going forward, to try to find a way to, not, put a heavy tax on Steph and even Draymond at this point of his career, and try to find other people that they can play through and can be more of the, and allow these guys to kind of transition to more secondary players. And I know that sounds crazy that you ever think of, Steph Curry as a secondary player, but I think when, He's 30. He's going to be 39 this year, and Father Time's undefeated. And you got to find a way to find a way for him to be a compliment and not be the guy that folks solely dependent on. Because again, we've all, it's happened to me. It's happened to you. It's everybody. When you start getting those little nagging injuries, what's to say it's not going to happen again? So you got to go out and, I know I've been hearing Kawhi, you've been hearing LeBron. Maybe, getting a piece like that can rejuvenate everybody and can fill in the gaps on those times. But it's definitely going to need to be, because Jimmy's not going to be a part of the picture. I think even if he comes back, he's going to be on minutes restrictions. The guys like Horford and Porzingis, the guys that they brought in at the trade deadline, those guys were in and out of the lineup. So it's like you got to find some consistency there, and I think that's going to be the challenge for the Warriors.
Well said. I want to get back to a little college. Earlier this year, a few months ago, the Portland Trailblazers were highlighted with the documentary, and Rasheed was a big part of that. And I know you guys took the Tar Heels to the Final Four, and it was good to see him kind of express himself like he always does and give his point of view on everything. Tell us some fun stories and some things that we don't know about Rasheed Wallace that the world probably wouldn't be privy to.
Man, this show ain't long enough. And
there's kids watching.
Yeah, exactly. There's kids watching. But no, man, I think like he's just such a personality. He's always been that way from day one when we came on the campus of North Carolina. I actually taught him how to drive. Coming from Philly, he was and as soon as we get in the car, he's driving with 2 feet. He got 1 foot on the accelerator and one on the brake. I'm like, oh no, he's about to kill us all. And then I remember going to Hawaii, man. We were playing over in Hawaii and we get scooters. And if you go back and watch the game, you're going to see bandages all on Rasheed in the game because he crashed the scooter in Hawaii. So, awesome. I mean, it's like story after story. Like he lives in Chapel Hill now. He moved back there. He's back there full time. We still kick it every time I go back home to see my mom. We stop there and we just have us a good powwow, sit back and talk about the old times. But no, he's one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. Him and, rest in peace, Miss Jackie. She was one of my favorite people. His mom, special lady that we lost a couple years ago. And he was the first person when my dad passed a few years back, like the first person that was there to ask, what I needed, anything I could do. He found me, that's the type of person Rasheed is, no matter what's happening, what's going on. He gets this bad rap for all his antics with the officials, but I just think that was just coming from his competitiveness and him wanting to win and felt. So I never really got a reasoning of why he was so hard on the officials, because we all know he's super talented and no matter but I think it may be just to get him going. Yeah. I think that was something just to get him going. He needed an edge. I mean, the game came so easy for this guy, man. He's 7 foot, but he has like small hands and small feet. It's a weird combination, but definitely when you throw it to him on that block, it had a good chance of something good happening.
Now, and Stack not lying. Back in the day, Mo Cheeks was my coach, and him and Rasheed were tight. And she gave me a couple of his game-worn shoes, and I wore them. So we was almost the same shoe size. So I want to stay right there with the Tar Heels. Mike Malone got the job. Do you think he can bring them back to prominence? And I also want to ask, did you get a phone call? Did you interview for that job? Did you get an opportunity there or no?
No, that was, again, I've spoken on this before. That was a little disappointing because as far as I can remember, it's always been someone that has either played in North Carolina or went to North Carolina, that had coached in North Carolina during my time. And I thought that would be the case again, and it wasn't. But, as a guy that's, that's a big proponent of thinking outside of the box and trying different things, I think I like the hire, actually. I would have liked it more if it was myself, because I felt like I could resonate and understanding, what it takes to wear that uniform and the pride that I have from being a North Carolina Tar Heel, of course. But I think Mike, he was the guy that I always kind of respected as a coach. When he was out of a job before he got the Denver job, we were doing some things with Adidas Nations and going around. So I got to know him a little bit and got to see him. So I followed him once he got the job, and I like his approach. I liked his approach on how he sees offense. But it's again about personnel. I thought he did a good job of utilizing Murray. Obviously he's got probably a first ballot Hall of Famer in Jokic. Like I said, great players make us all better coaches. But I do think, having that North Carolina moniker, you're going to get talent. And I think with his NBA background and the possibility of guys getting developed and having a kind of a pipeline into general managers and coaches because of the relationships with Mike Malone, I think it's something positive. But I do feel that he has a chance to be really good. I think he's a really good coach, and he seems like he's really excited about being at North Carolina and getting kind of enthralled in all of the things that North Carolina is about.
And they got to have a big NIL bag there.
I mean, right? It's iconic.
Yeah.
I saw the transfer yesterday from Iowa State just got $6.5 million to go to Kentucky, and that's what the 8th pick in the draft is getting this year.
That's
Lou, you got to have some eligibility,
I got plenty
man.
of eligibility. I don't know how eligible my
Wait, how does
knees
that
are,
work?
but I got plenty of eligibility.
Do you get to have like if you wanted to?
I have
He could
no
appeal.
idea.
He could appeal and go back.
Don't
for
make
sure.
me look
Lewis.
into it. Y'all gonna lose your
You know
co-host.
he's going to get buckets. Yeah, but no, man.
Still a bucket.
I didn't even know this
I
was an
still
option.
got it for them, Stack. They gonna lose their co-host.
You know what?
I
I'm
got
willing to
some.
lose my co-host if this story happens, because that's
It's just the difference of how it was. Man, I think when I was at Vandy, it was so different. Like, it was beginning of NIL. I couldn't, like, when I was getting guys in, they had to still sit out a year.
Yeah.
And,
right.
And it was just like we wasn't on the train of thinking that they didn't feel like it was sustainable. That was the message. So I mean, but I was foolish enough to think that just we go in and win a couple games at Kentucky and with a couple walk-ons that kind of having that competitive naivety to think that you can do it, but you need talent and you can. If you don't have a budget of
Good Lord.
at least $10 million right now, it's hard for you. At least 10, and most of the top programs are going to have 15 to 20. It's just going to be hard for you to really be super successful without that.
Now you got my brain going here, Stack. So that's going to be a fun rest of the day for Lewis when I bother him to figure out this project.
Better start icing the knees.
Yeah, we're going to ice the knees.
I left after 2 years. If y'all find the path, man, I might try to get
I mean,
back.
everybody's going back. Oh, I love this. So this is my favorite thing. It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for the time. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Stack.
See you,
Stack.
Coach.
man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.
Run it up, run it back. Run it up, run it back.
I cannot wait for y'all's opinion on this. So listen, hey, are you going to pay attention? We're not in a break. AJ DeBonsa says that Trae Young's going to have to give up the number 3 if the Wizards draft him. Quote, if they draft me, I do need number
First
3,
of all,
Trae. I mean, this...
He got to be joking.
Yeah, you got to show the video. He wasn't
That's what I asked.
saying this like.
But it's awesome.
That's my number. He said, Trae, like, if they draft me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need that.
Okay, but is there not a little bit of truth and even sarcasm?
No,
That's the
he
whole point of it?
gotta be joking. Because if vets want to be vets, they gonna make sure he don't get 3. They gonna make sure he don't get his backup number. They gonna make sure he don't get his emergency number if he's serious.
He's gonna be number 33.
Hold
this
up,
year.
y'all have
joking.
emergency numbers?
Yeah, just in case. Like, I wore number 12 in Houston. I have no connection to 12.
Okay.
It was like a 2, 3 type of. I don't know. It was just.
It's 12th man in football, 6th man
I was
in
just out
basketball.
of options. I couldn't wear
I was always
my
25.
first 2, so I had to go with my emergency.
I had to wear number 4 in Denver. So
4?
Yeah.
Then when I got traded to Atlanta, all I wore was suits.
That's when you feel like you cooked. When you start wearing weird
you start
numbers,
wearing
then
random
that's when you
numbers.
know you
Yeah, it's
cooked.
the beginning of the end. Beginning of the end.
Cousins number 62. What the hell happened to that guy?
Okay, that is awesome. I didn't know.
What number
y'all-
were you in Mongolia?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 15.
Duh.
But no, Young,
We have the jersey.
yeah, Young fella out of pocket for this. I mean,
No, he was he was kidding in the
I
clip.
saw the interview. It's more so the audacity because it's like this is an established star in this league. To kind of speak. I'm like, yeah, I need that. I don't know about that.
So-
I think things can be figured out behind the scenes, which I don't think Trey is giving it up. But if it is a conversation where you want to get this number,
awesome.
that's something you do behind the
You
scenes.
be
but
carrying bags and going to get coffee in no
Yeah.
time.
So I'm
Yo,
saying,
fella,
I
all
love
your
that.
star
If they
stats
draft
are
audacity
set.
for me.
if they draft or when they draft him, is this a good look though to Trey to be like, I'm all in. Here's the number 1 pick and have my jersey.
Ooh, that's so nice.
I'm sure Trey
Or
get
no
some
way.
good PR for
Y'all
that.
must know a
But I
different
don't.
Trey.
Yeah, I don't think that's happened. Yeah.
Different.
I'm just saying, it could be a good look. He can
Trey he got to have
It is
his
good
for him.
PR.
He can capitalize on this.
He got to have his for him.
I love this story. So this is an ongoing
love it,
story.
though.
We'll see how it ends.
That might make them closer. If they draft him,
I have to say.
this
I'm so
joke will
all
make
in.
them
He can
closer,
have my
though.
jersey.
They're bonding. Rich Paul compared LeBron to Muhammad Ali, calling him the people's champion because even when he lost, it felt like people really embraced him. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Anybody who wants to take this one? You buying this?
I mean, I feel like no people dislike LeBron heavily.
Also,
and even
Muhammad
when they
Ali is a
lose-
special person.
Yeah, I don't agree with this one. Talent-wise, maybe champ-wise, maybe, but like no, I feel like people love to rip and shred LeBron James, especially even when he wins. Let
That's a great
alone when he
point.
plays bad.
That's a great point.
I don't really understand this one, but maybe like their identity and who they were and kind of their clout and their fame and their work ethic, maybe stuff like that, sure. But as far as that, no, I'm not rolling with that one.
I don't know if I'm going around comparing anybody to Muhammad Ali right now.
Yeah, I'm not really understanding the comparison. You know, as far as athletes, I think they've done great things in their individual
Huge impacts and
yeah,
stuff. but-
individual careers. But you know what, I think what makes Ali so special is what he did outside of sports.
Yes.
And I'm not saying LeBron hasn't, but the impact of what they've done off the court doesn't even compare.
The balls that Muhammad
in my
Ali
opinion.
had in the time that he had them.
Exactly.
Come on. We're
So
doing
I'm
this.
not really understanding the comparison, but I got the ultimate respect for Ali. So I'm not. I don't see where they correlate.
But you know what? Nice attempt. I'll give him that. A for effort. Taking a quick break. Wrapping things up on the other side.
The run it back, run it up, the run it back, run it up, run it back.
You know what? Might as well go ahead and look at the odds for the old MVP. Obviously, Victor up top. Anybody got any other picks they might go with just for, poops and giggles?
No, I like those top two. I think if the Knicks win, it's got to be Jalen Brunson, and if the Spurs win, it's going to be Victor
Damn.
Wembanyama. So I love those top
Drop
two.
off to Cat is crazy.
Drop off from 2 to 3 is
happening right here.
bonkers.
I'm putting $1 on everybody.
I was
Might as
about
well.
to say, everybody from Cat
Cat
on
down?
down, put $1 down.
Maybe
Steph
if
Castle, 65?
maybe if Wemby gets hurt and misses like 2 games, and the Spurs pull it off, and Castle just goes bonkers.
Give me Castle.
Yeah, it's not a bad one.
Vassell?
I mean, he's not even on the list, so he must be
Harper?
plus $1 million.
Harper.
You know what?
Harper's
Castle.
not a bad. Harper's not a bad pick.
No, I'm glad you guys were excited about that. I'll do it again tomorrow. Derek White is on the show tomorrow. I have a lot of questions for you, Mr.
get.
White. You better be rooting for the Spurs too, by the way. Anybody have big plans for tonight?
I need sleep before these games start up, so I'm gonna
I've been
rest
all over this women's college softball World Series.
that's the
And
first
now there's
for
no
me.
game tonight.
Wow, Chandler
Game's
finally
tomorrow, the
supporting
same time.
women.
Yeah.
You heard it
It's
here
the same
first.
time as game 1. So sorry, ladies.